Has fear ever stopped you from moving forward with something that was important to you? It could be starting that new project or a business that you've been passionate about, taking a step towards your goals, or even getting into a new relationship or stepping out of one if it's just not working out for you. Whatever it is, I know most of us have felt that feeling at some point in our lives. I'll be honest, starting this YouTube channel was one of the scariest things I've ever done. And I felt something similar with each company or organization that I started. But here I am today despite the fear, so it means I probably overcame it, right? Today I'm here to share with you 3 practical strategies to overcome fear yourself so that you can step into your purpose and potential with confidence. This is my first video, so you might be wondering, who is this guy? My name is Samir Mansoor, and I'm a proven social impact entrepreneur turned leadership and life success coach. I founded solutions that have saved lives, promoted mental health and personal development that have reached hundreds of thousands of people around the world. For the last 2 decades, I've been on a journey to learn the science of joy, freedom, and success, inspired by Holy Scriptures and the wisdom of the sages and thinkers and achievers throughout history. Today, I'm a results-driven coach who works with leaders and aspiring leaders to overcome their limiting beliefs and achieve their full potential. These ideas have worked for me and those that I coach, and it's my sincere hope that they're gonna work for you too. So thank you for tuning in and trusting me with this information. If you want more like this, then hit the like and subscribe button, and there's so much more to come. With that, let's get into the topic of the day, fear, and 3 practical steps to address and overcome it so that you can worry less and achieve more. Are you ready? Let's go. But first, where does fear come from? There's 2 types of fear, those that are innate and those that are learned. Studies have shown that there are only 2 fears that we're actually born with, the feeling of falling and loud noises. We can understand this from an evolutionary perspective, right? This is our internal alert mechanism that helps us stay alive. The second type of fear is a learned fear. This can be a fear of, let's say, spiders or, I don't know, sharks, snakes, fire, dogs, any behavior that hones our survival instincts that keep us safe from those predators or those that might seek to harm us. The kind of learned fear that I'll be focusing on today is the fear that we may experience before pursuing a dream or taking a risk or doing something that's outside of our comfort zone, like starting that new business or leaving your job for something more aligned with your interests and talents, or moving to a new country like I did last year, letting someone special know that you're really into them, or allowing yourself to experience a deep and loving relationship. These 2 can be learned fears, right? See, somewhere along our experiences as children or adolescents, we learned that risk-taking or trying something new was just too painful or consequence-filled to take on. For example, how many times did you hear no when running around exploring the world? Don't do that, don't do this, drop that, don't touch that. As a child, we may hear so much no that as teens or adults, when we try something new or adventurous that intrigues us, that inner voice remembers that message and repeats what we heard. No, don't do it, be careful, you'll get hurt. Instead of having our curiosity, creativity, or sense of adventure rewarded or celebrated, it was likely met with criticism or a warning. Now, we can play the blame game all day long, but in truth, the adults around us likely had a good and even loving intention when they were saying these things. They probably wanted to protect us. But even good intentions can have their unintended consequences. As a result, we learn to fear and worry when branching out from the safe or the socially accepted path. Perhaps you want to start a new company. That voice may pop up in your head and say, you can't afford to take that risk, you'll never succeed. Or, if you're brown like me, the infamous, what will people think? Let's say you're really into somebody, right? And are afraid of rejection that comes from putting your emotions on the line. You might even hear the words, I'm not lovable enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not funny enough, or insert whatever insecure adjective you have a belief in. Is it possible to overcome this inner critic, or are we slaves to it? Of course it is. You can certainly overcome it. You owe it to yourself and all your amazing dreams to overcome it. See, if you learned this fear, then you can unlearn this fear. So here are 3 strategies that will help you master fear. Number 1, that voice in your head saying no is actually not your voice. The critical voice you memorized growing up that says no, don't do that, what will people think, told you so. It's the voice that babied you then, and it's the voice that's keeping you very small today. When you recognize the critical voice for what it is, a limiting idea or even a liar, you can respond with a better idea. I heard you. I acknowledge your concern for me, but I am now choosing to move forward in the direction of my highest good. Many of our fears develop in response to a rejection we faced as a child, and it's that early rejection that makes you the perfect candidate to master this specific fear. I'll give you an example. In Christopher Nolan's interpretation of the Batman in Batman Begins, it was little Bruce Wayne's fear of bats that ultimately led him to embrace his inner power, his courage, and success as the Batman. Or if we want to take a biblical example, Jesus quoted from Psalm 118 when he said of his earthly mission that the stone that builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Can you think of a time when you developed a fear or insecurity based on an unpleasant personal experience, and then in overcoming it, you became so much stronger as a result of it? Perhaps you even went on to help others to navigate their own experience of it. The very fear we most need to overcome ourselves is the very thing that we have the potential to become a master of. If there's a voice that matters in this, it's your inner voice of intuition. It knows what is most joyful, purposeful, and harmonious for you. It is presenting you a vision of what is possible. This still present voice within you is aligned with your highest good. It knows what is good for your happiness. It is preparing the way for your joy and your freedom. Trust it. When the inner critic comes out and says, impossible, can you reframe it to, I'm possible? When it suggests that it won't work out, can you challenge it? What if it does work out? Instead of, you can't do this, can you in those moments cheerlead yourself with, I am capable. I am moving in the direction of my goals. See, when Jesus was tempted by Satan to drop his mission, in exchange for all the material power he could imagine, Jesus commanded him, get thee behind me. Can you too stand guard at the gate of your mind so that only those thoughts that move you forward in the direction of your goals are allowed in? Anything else that distracts you, declare as the great master declared, get thee behind me. The second strategy is that fear has no intrinsic reality, so choose a better reality. Let's take a second to break down what fear is. It's an imaginary belief of a worst case scenario which has not yet happened, right? So in other words, let's draw this as an illustration. You are here. Your mind now moves into the future and imagines a terrible outcome. And this imagination now brings anxiety, pressure, and stress to your current condition, your present state. When we put it like that, fear seems kind of ridiculous, right? There's actually an acronym for this. Fear is false expectations appearing real. And it's important to note the stimulus that prompts the fear. It's an imagined one. Now, when I say fear isn't real, I'm not dismissing the fact that you might be feeling something unpleasant. It's actually important to acknowledge what you are feeling. What I am doing, however, is challenging its power over you and your life outcomes. It's completely normal to feel resistance when trying something new. Eckhart Tolle says that the resistance that you feel will be in proportion to the greatness of the task, mission, or experience you're about to undertake. The bigger the vision or goal, the more resistance you will likely feel. Why is this? See, in order to achieve your goal, life is presenting you with an opportunity to grow from your current position. Because the ego does not like change, it's going to put up a mighty resistance. This resistance will be felt as pain, as stress, and fear. The question for you is, do you want to achieve this bad enough to grow into this new position? So how do we grow or move through the resistance? If fear is the result of imagining a worst case scenario, then the antidote is to call forth and imagine the most desirable outcome. You can reframe your story of fear into a story of limitless possibility. This is how we go from fear to freedom. Now, there are 3 ways that you can do this. Number 1, know that you are capable. Our intuition gives us a vision of a goal or a dream that is possible to achieve. Divine mind, the central intelligence behind all of creation, seeks to create an experience through us. But if we don't grasp and act on it, it will seek its unfolding elsewhere. You get to choose to do this. You get to know that you are born to do this. I truly believe that if you can see it, then it's your spiritual obligation to make it happen. Challenge any feeling of insecurity and claim your belief in your ability to achieve your goals. If the challenge seems difficult, can you make it fun and interesting for yourself? Can this journey be reframed from one of dread and procrastination to one of fun and adventure? See, you were gifted this vision for a reason. You are called to do this for a reason. If not you, then who? So go ahead and affirm, I am capable. I am able. I get to live life as an adventure. This is fun for me. With each step I take, I am already on my way to achieving it. So what is one step you can take today in the direction of your goals? Drop it in the comments. I would love to hear about you and your journey. Number 2, know that you are worthy of achieving this goal or experience that you desire. See, much of our fear, stagnation, or our insecurity stems from a sense of unworthiness. Have an honest check-in with yourself. Do you feel worthy of this goal and everything it would bring into your life should you achieve it? Is there imposter syndrome lurking in the corners? Like, who are you to even contemplate achieving this? If so, it's time to challenge this as well. You are worthy. You are deserving. Your desire to accomplish or experience this is a holy one. Can you open your arms to receive this as a blessing? Go ahead and repeat to yourself, I am worthy of this. I am deserving of this. I am ready and open to receiving all the good into my life now. Number 3, dwell on the imagination, affirmation, and feeling of what success looks like. To overcome fear, we get to shift from imagining the worst to imagining the best. To do this, we get to start with the most happy, joyful, and accomplished end in mind. Can you hold on to a clear image and feeling of what success looks and feels like? Write out a statement of success. Visualize what this looks like. Paint in the little details of this wonderful picture. See yourself as having already received, achieved, or experiencing this goal. Let's take a moment to do this as an exercise right now. If you feel ready to do so, then close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And release. With your eyes closed, if it's safe to do so, immerse yourself in the beautiful picture of you having achieved your goal, this dream of yours. See it like a movie before you. What are you doing? What emotions are you feeling? Are you smiling? Are you laughing? Are you excited? Who is in this image with you? What are you wearing? Are others cheering you on? Are you feeling amazing? Get detailed and marinate yourself in the feeling of success. The more you do this, your fear will be replaced with an excitement about what is possible and what is to come. Practice this enough and the things, the people, the ideas that are in alignment with this feeling will begin to show up in your physical experience. At the top of this video, I said I would share with you 3 practical steps, and I've covered 2 big ones here today. The first is that the critical voice in your head is not your voice. So you get to replace it with a voice that cheerleads your progress. The second is that fear has no intrinsic reality, so you get to choose one that supports you in the direction of your goals. Next week, I'll share the third, and what is perhaps the most important strategy to overcome fear. Hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified right away when that video drops, and trust me, it's going to be a good one. So tell me, what did you find most useful in what we covered today? And how will you apply it in your days to come? I'll conclude this conversation with this note. As you've seen in this video, fear is a physiological response to an event that hasn't yet happened. The more you practice the muscle of shifting from fear to one of progress, joy, and hope, the more excited you will feel about the next steps. You have likely heard this story before, but it's one that's worth repeating here. Within each of us are two wolves. They are always wrestling with one another. One wolf is darkness, limitation, and fear, and the other wolf is light, possibility, and hope. Which wolf wins? The one that you most feed.